How's it going, everybody? Welcome into a brand new video. I was away for some time, definitely lots of travel in February, definitely some big life events as well, but I'm back at home base. I've got everything set up and I'm ready to make some more content. So I've got a fun short scroll cup video for you today. This is actually going to be a team featuring Annihilape as well as Gastrodon and Shadow Walrein. So I'm really intrigued to try this, really excited to show it to you. There's also been a lot of other big news. For example, today, March 12th, Niantic just sold Pokémon Go and all of their other gaming properties over to Scopely, which is a massive acquisition, $3.5 billion. Apparently Niantic also contributed $350 million in cash, so it's more like $3.85 billion in this deal. And there are some huge implications here. I was actually doing some research earlier about the deal and about the companies behind it. I have a really fire video dropping later this week, so make sure to check that out when it does come live. But for now, let's do what we came here to do. Scroll Cup battles featuring Gastrodon and Shadow Walrein and Annihilape lead. First game of the video, we are going to lead into LNDS Jiraxia. They are going to lead their own Gastrodon. They actually swap into Gallade. Now, I've had this problem for several weeks. Oh my gosh, you see the charm come through there. I've had the same issue for several weeks and I don't know if there's a solution except for just start counting my own moves a little bit better, but I do allow the charm through. So far we have seen Gastrodon and a charm Gallade in the back. I mean, the fear here is that it's going to be a double charm team, but we'll see what we can do regardless. Scroll Cup, let me know what you think of it so far. I know it's only in its first day. It's also a very limited meta inspired by Urshifu and the Cubfoos as well. They bring in Gastrodon again, which is kind of what we expected. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Earth Power here. Looks like a charge attack priority tie. This EC Gastrodon doesn't have as good of stats as my West Sea variants do, just because I have less access to them, of course. But I will say that it does win some charge type priorities. We actually both make a swap and they go into Brion. I've actually built this Pokemon as well. I tried it for a couple games. I don't think it's for me, but this is one of the very few charm users in the Scroll Cup. Super difficult to deal with if you aren't prepared, but because the shields are down, I'm able to go ahead and throw the Earthquake, connect it, shield a Disarming Voice, and now I just need to close out the game, right? Opponent does top left there. Gonna go into our next battle here. Rank 18, still pushing to gain my first ELO of the season. We're gonna take on Mystic Man MVP here in this next battle. They're gonna lead Quagsire. Now, honestly, I'm shocked at how much of a role the Mud Boys have in this meta. Swampert, Quagsire, Whiscash, all three of them are actually very relevant, and for reasons I didn't think of at first. The main one being that they help you counter Morpeko. And Morpeko is absolutely running rampant. It's all over the place. Very strong Pokemon. And when you do have Mud Bomb or even Hydro Cannon assets on these Pokemon, it can be super helpful. In comes a Brion, they charm us down. I'm going to bring in the Gastrodon, and I did deal a bit of damage there actually with my counters. Now, what's interesting about Brion is that it is a pure water type. It doesn't get that same type attack bonus on the charm, so it's not going to do nearly as much damage as you would suspect. My opponent actually, maybe they did have Morpeko in the back. They realized they can't get to another charge attack with the Brion. They can't pressure a shield, and they just top left. So I'm not sure if it was Toxapex or Morpeko or whatever it might have been, but they quit the battle nonetheless. Next battle, another Gallade. This is the second Gallade in 3 games. It is running Psycho Cut though, it is running Charm. I did encounter a Psycho Cut Gallade. It's just later on in the video, I believe. But another Charm Gallade. Is it Gallade or Gallade? Let me know down in the comments below. We're going to see the Primeape swap in. So this is at least an ABA fighter team. It might even be an AAA fighter team. I am able to land the Icicle Spear, which is nice. Going to come in now after the timer is up. Going to come in with my Annihilape and try to counter through this Primeape and get the KO. I do get my counter through, which is really nice. You never know these days. Sometimes your fast attacks don't come through. That one turn lag is everywhere. And I'm able to counter down, which is really good. Coming back in with the Gallade, I'm going to swap into Gastrodon and apply that same 3-turn fast attack pressure. I know this is Leaf Blade, so you got to shield this up. Final Pokemon comes in, it's actually Sableye. Now, this is an example of the earlier ranks where my opponent is not exactly recognizing the win conditions. In this situation, I need to bait in order to win this game. If I don't get the shield somehow, I'm gonna lose. Opponent could have no shielded here, but instead they decide to shield a double resistant body slam, which allows me to get to the Earth Power. And even though this is gonna take my last shield, I absolutely need to get the KO here. Foul Play does get protected up. Gonna throw the Earth Power here and try to KO this Sableye. If I can get the 1-turn lag, I can actually Mud Slap and swap, and I think that's what I'm able to do, which is really good because it means Annihilape is able to close out the game. So if the Charm applied at the same time as the Mud Slap, I should have gotten KO'd there, but my opponent got a 1-turn swap. Lanturn. Lanturn is a Pokemon I did not expect to see in the Scroll Cup. I'm not seeing very much of it, but it's still a menace when it does appear. I am seeing Spark Lanturn, and that's mainly to deal with the water types in the meta for obvious reasons. I have seen my fair share of Gyarados and Mantine, so seeing a Lanturn, that would be a nightmare situation for those two Pokemon I just mentioned. Opponent's going to come in with the Toxapex. We go with the Gastrodon. I actually played 6 sets of this cup the first day that it rotated in, which I guess was yesterday, and honestly, I kept finding myself over and over wishing I had a Gastrodon on the team, because when you run into Toxapex, when you run into Morpeko, it's so difficult to find a neutral answer that beats both of those Pokemon, and Gastrodon is likely the best choice. So a little bit of interesting timing there. I'm going to throw the Body Slam bait to try to get a shield here. And we do, which is super nice. The only caveat though is that I won't survive long enough to get to another one. I'm gonna go into the, an Earth Power, excuse me. I'm gonna go into the Annihilape and throw the Rage Fist. Opponent is counting well. They swap back into Lanturn, which is actually nice because I want this Lanturn out so I can go ahead and throw the Body Slam into it. I actually don't know if this is enough to KO, but we're gonna find out. Actually, we're not going to find out. They shield. But now I've got a Walrein with 2 shields to hide behind and a very weak Lanturn staring down the barrel of all of this powdered snow. Now, Walrein, a Pokemon that I thought was going to be really good at targeting Mandibuzz. There aren't that many Mandibuzz. I'm actually surprised. And the Pokemon here on your screen might be indicative of why. Tons and tons of Lanturn. I'm going to throw the Earthquake here against this opposing Gastrodon. Even if they threw the Earth Power, I think Walrein can hang on from this range, but I know for sure that Earthquake is going to KO. So very, very nice sledding for us so far. That was actually a 4-1. The only game I didn't win is because I tried to use Emilio's team from the graphic that Yonko Jean just posted. And I'm so sorry, Emilio, but I got so destroyed in my first game that I swapped out the Gyarados and put in the Gastrodon instead. Just too much more Peko, man. Too much electric type in the meta. We're going to see a Hakamo-O in this next game. Hakamo-O is very interesting. I think I actually try this Pokemon in a future video that's going to be coming out, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But Brick Break Dragon Claw. This is a very solid moveset for a Pokemon. Gets these moves very quickly as well. I believe it's only 4 Dragon Tails each, so 12 turns to a hard-hitting same type attack bonus attack. Opponent comes in with Morpeko, and this is suddenly looking pretty rough. I'm going to come in now with Gastrodon. One thing that I do advise, though, is to shield the first attack from Morpeko, because a lot of these Morpekos are in fact running Seed Bomb. You need to be very careful of that. I think that's a very smart move. Opponent is able to get to another charge attack, which is really tough for me. It would have been the Aura Wheel, would have knocked out likely because it is dark and I am 1 stage debuffed by the Brick Break. Opponent comes back in now with a Hakamo. Oh, I'm going to go to the Annihilape here, try to get some valuable counter damage down on this Pokemon. They get to another attack. I think I can withstand the Dragon Claw. The question is what the third Pokemon is in the back. They should go for the Brick Break. That's because they want to farm down. I'm realizing now that I can't get to 2 Rage Fists, but I fire this one anyway. I think the smarter play might have been for the close combat, because then my opponent gets less farm. Because now at this rate, I don't have much energy, and I really need to KO this Sableye. I think I give it 1 less Shadow Claw if I close combat there, so maybe I should have done that. But instead, they already have the double foul plays. I don't know if it would have made a big difference. I think I needed more energy on Gastrodon regardless, but still a pretty good game. The updated foul play timing for Sableye being only 5 Shadow Claws every time is honestly an insane upgrade. I didn't think it would make that much of a difference, but it really does. Like I said, everybody, a very quick video today, just a few battles. Let me know what you think of the Scroll Cup so far. I don't agree with people that say it's already become degenerate, that say it's already all about Charm, Gallade, and Mud Slap, Gastrodon. I don't fully agree with that, but I do think it will get that way eventually. There's so many Pokemon I want to try out though, and I do want to test Pokemon in Ultra League as well, so definitely stay tuned for future videos. And again, I've got a big one dropping, almost like a documentary style video dropping about this Scopely acquisition later on this week. So I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next video.